She really waited for a long time, and the question was going back to Ananda and Rasotpatti or Rasanishpatti. My question was, is Ananda dependent at all on Sadharanikaran or Sarudaya after the Rasanishpatti, and does that make it easier for comprehension as to why Ananda, again, there are very many people who call it a spiritual anubhuti of some sort, and does becoming the Sarudaya, maybe it is the performer or the audience, after the Rasanishpatti, does that add to the Ananda? Then we are not dependent on whether it is Jugupsa or how do you say, Raudra, any of those what we judge as negatives. Maybe it is the identification with the negatives that eventually, or the connection between what we felt as close to the performer, that creates the Ananda. Is that possible?
I couldn't follow the question properly.
If there is Rasanishpatti, then there would be what is called the Sarudaya Bhava, or I don't know whether Bhava is used when you become Sarudaya or when there is Sadharanikaran. As performers, we were taught that that is what gets the Ananda, and not whether it is Jugupsa that leads to that.
Yes.
Because that is the breaking down of the barrier of whether I am Rama while I am crying for Sita, or whether I am Sita who is crying while Ravana is taking me. I am the one who is crying, but who is the I is completely mushed up. And that who is the I getting messed up is what creates the Ananda. Because for that one instance, I have been inside the head of divinities.
Okay. Okay, you are right that way. Where the whole world of Sthai Bhava or Vyabhichari Bhavas, which has Jugupsa and all these things, that is left out. And when at the experiential level, at the aesthetic experience, Ananda alone remains. So that is the ultimate, and that is the ultimate resultant. So everything else is maybe you can say wiped out at that level experience, at the experience level. It remains maybe before our eyes, but when we are experiencing, that is gone. We have simply one experience, so that is you can say nothing else remains. We are completely taken over by that, by a kind of overflowing, all pervading experience, and we submerge our identity also there. So all other experiences which we have at worldly plane of Jugupsa and Chinta and even Rati etc. also, they will go away, and only one alone Ananda would remain. That is the explanation of Rasa experience as per Abhinav Gupta also. Yes.
Vigalita Vedyantaram
Yes.
and Avarana Bhanga and
Pramushta Parimita Pramatritva.
I think somewhere the question I asked is creating some problem.
Yes.
Let me take 1 minute if you permit.
Yes.
Just a minute. Why I raised this question is, sir, at the culmination of Rasanubhuti, I repeatedly tell that there is no difference. Actually, Abhinav Gupta in one place writes, Sarvesham eva rasanam shanta praya eva aswadaha. So all details and all distinctions and characteristics and everything will drop down, and Jagannatha Pandita makes it very clear. It is Avarana Bhanga and all that he uses, and it's only Chinmatra Swarupa Vana. So these, of course, later on writers, rather than Bharata, they have made it very clear. Of course, they made their contributions also, may not be in Bharata Shastra as such. My problem with Jugupsa is simply this. Unless I make it clear, it is very difficult for others to think about that, and for me also to think about that. The problem where it comes is, in all other 7 cases, at one point you must relish it. Actually, before Ananda, attaining Ananda level, the question is not at the rasa realization level, but you have to have pravritti. You have to have pravritti. You see, for in rati, even krodha, even bhayanaka also, the pravritti is not obstructed. Whereas in jugupsa, even disgust by mere seeing it, looking at it, and you are not even inclined to, first of all, involve into it. Then only the question of bhivatsa rasa avirbhava is, of course, no controversy over there. This process, what is the mechanism through, is there any possibility of understanding the same kind of the pleasure of ananda rasananda anubhava through bhivatsa is bothering me somewhere, because in rati rati of course of universal, even in karuna also pravritti is there. For example, karuna we have in loka also, karananyatha karyani sahakarini yanicha tanichen natya kavyayoho vibhava anubhavasyu. So it should be there. Even in the Lokika level also, we are not welcoming the Bhivatsa. We welcome Shoka, welcome or not welcome, but we have experience of Shoka in Loka, and we have experience of Bhaya, we have got experience of at Karana level. It's not in the level of Vibhava and Rasanishpatti I am speaking. So how come the kind of the Bhivatsa, the kind of explanation given to that is even in Laukika level also, when it is not welcome and when it is not, we don't participate in it, how come it becomes Alaukika and generate the Ananda? This is somewhat a problem, and we can slowly think about it when time comes. I think I made myself clear somewhat better now, I think, when I asked the question. Yeah, that is the distinction between Karuna, Bhayanaka and Jugupsarati and all that. There is some problem, that's all.
I think we can start.
There are many things which can be said about this question. Many things I can say about this question also. And immediately what I want to say is that the very nivratti from Vibhatsa would lead to Shantarasa. See, you want to avert it, you have kind of aversion, and that would motivate you to Shanta. But then it may not be with everybody. What you are experiencing, it may not be the experience of others. For the experience of Bibhatsa, maybe you have to be a different kind of connoisseur. I will give an example of Gandhiji. Okay, he was living in Sevagrama. Kasturba became very ill. Gandhiji said that इसकी सेवा मैं ही केवल करूँगा और कोई नहीं. वो करना चाहते थे, ठीक है. शी कुडंट, वो बिस्तर से उठ नहीं सकती थी, तो उसका सब मलमूत्र वो उठा करके. So when I visited Sevagram, one elderly person was showing me all these things. So what he said, कि मैं उनको वो हाथ में उसका पात्र लिए हुए निकल के देखता था, उनके चेहरे पर जो भाव होता था जैसे वो कि वो देवालय से पूजा करने वाले आदमी के मुंह पर जो भाव होता है, वो बिना किसी उसके बहुत पावन शुचि भाव से वो उसको. और बताता हूँ मैं आपको, इससे ज़्यादा जुगुप्सित परचुरे शास्त्री उनके गुरु थे, संस्कृत उन्होंने पढ़ाई थी, उनको कुष्ठ, गलित कुष्ठ हो गया, कोई सेवा करने वाला नहीं था. गांधी जी उनको सेवाग्राम में ले आए. गांधी ने कहा कि इनकी सेवा मैं ही करूँगा. आप वो क्यों कहते थे? वो इसलिए कहते थे कि बाकी लोग करेंगे कि गांधी जी के गुरु हैं इसलिए किसी तरह कर दो, कस्तूरबा माता है इसलिए किसी तरह कर दो. वो उस तरह से नहीं करेंगे कि मैं इसके अनुभव में शिरकत होकर के मेरे भीतर एक पावनता का, शुचिता का भाव ही रहेगा. तो वो सज्जन बताते हैं कि उनके घाव से पीप बह रहा है. गांधी जी उसको बहुत इतने प्रेम से साफ करते थे, बहुत शास्त्री जी को राहत देते हुए, प्रसन्न होते हुए कि मैं किसी तरह कर पा रहा हूँ इनकी, वो साफ करते थे, उसको रखा उन्होंने उसको जब तक कि वो समाप्त नहीं हो गए, परचूर्य शास्त्री वहाँ रहे। तो ये एक जब संसार में भी हम इससे गुजरना चाह सकते हैं तो वो भी बस, जैसे मैंने तो कहा कि मुझे अगर दिखाया जाएगा उस फिल्म का वो सीन तो मैं उसको फिर से देखना चाहूँगा, क्योंकि मैं चाहता हूँ कि मैं उससे, आप चाहे उसको आनंद कहें तो, लेकिन ये एक प्रवृत्ति का इनकी, तो आप कह रहे हैं कि मेरी प्रवृत्ति नहीं होगी, मेरी होगी। गांधी जी की तो हुई उसको करने में, उनने तो बहुत उससे कहा कि ये तो कितना आनंद से मैं कर रहा हूँ, इस तरह से ही उन्होंने किया। ऐसा नहीं कि वो पुष्ट हो गया तो उससे उनको सुख हो रहा हो, या वो बीमार हैं तो वो चाहते हैं कि बीमार बनी रहे तो मुझे आनंद मिले, इस तरह का आनंद नहीं था। लेकिन उसमें जो इन्वॉल्व होना है उसमें विभत्स उनको किस तरह से वहां तक ऊंचाई पर ले जा सकता है, वो हो सकता है। ये इतना ही मैं कह सकता हूँ, बाकी तो खैर उसमें अलग अलग तरह की बातें हो सकती हैं। वी कम टू द 8th chapter. तो 8th chapter is Upang Vidhan. So Angas and Upangas, there are 6 kinds of Angas, major limbs, and others are minor limbs. So Abhinaya with minor limbs is first described in the 8th chapter, and in 9th chapter he would take up the major limbs. So Natya Katividha Karya, again the questions by Manish, how many types of Abhinaya in Natya? Tajyaihi, by the experts who know Natya, how many types of Abhinaya they do, what is the order of Abhinaya in Natya, and Kathamba Abhinayo Yesha Katibhedastu Kirtita. And how Abhinaya is done and what are its Vedas. How many Vedas it has? Okay. How many varieties? This is the question. Padmani says Yaduktam Chatvaro Abhinaya. It should be Abhinaya. Sorry. Dirghakar should be there. So as I said, 4 types of Abhinayas are there that I have described in the 6th Adhyaya, 6th chapter. Now I will give the details. So first, the etymology of Abhinaya. Atra Abhinaya iti kasmat. Why Abhinaya is called Abhinaya? The reply is Abhi iti upsarga, Niya iti prapanarthko dhatu. Okay, it is very simple. Abhi is upsarga and Niya prapanarthak is the dhatu. Asya abhinitevam vyavasthitasya eraj ityach pratyantasya abhinaya ityevam rupam siddham. Abhi plus ni plus eraj ach pratyay, so it becomes Abhinaya. So this is the nirukti. Etacha dhatvarthan vacnena avadharyam bhavati. What is the meaning of the root? On the basis of that we should understand the meaning of Abhinaya. So abhipurvak ni dhatu, that which carries forward, जो आगे ले जाता है, जो प्रयोग को आगे ले जाता है वो अभिनय है. ओके. चतुर्विधश्चैवं भवेन्, चतुर्विधश्चैव भवेन् नाट्यस्य अभिनयो द्विजाः. और द्विजास in Natya 4 types of Abhinayas are there. Aneka Veda Bahulam Natyam Yasmin Pratishthitam. The various types of Natya having a diversity of categorizations is enshrined within the fold of Abhinaya. So all sorts of performances, all categories of Prayoga, they come within Abhinaya. So therefore Abhinaya proper, Abhinaya as such is at par with Prayoga or Natya or performance of Natya. So when we say that हम अभिनय करते हैं तो हम नाट्य करते हैं, तो it's such a wide term that it encompasses the whole concept of Natya. Abhinaya means performance proper. So these 4 types of Abhinayas have been enumerated many times. In 9th Karika they are again named Angik, Vachik, Ahar and Satvik. Satvika Purvam Uktastu. I have already spoken about Satvika in 6th and 7th chapters. Okay, because how each rasa will be performed and how each Sthai Bhava and Sanchari Bhava will be performed, this Bharat Muni has discussed in 6th and 7th chapters. So with Bhavas, I have already given a treatment to Satvik Abhinaya. Anga Abhinaya Mevadu Galto Me Nibodhata. So the order is not maintained. When we enumerate rasas, when we enumerate abhinayas, we say angik, vachik, satvik and ahari, or sometimes angik, vachik, ahari and satvik. So satvik is named in the end, but here the kram has been violated and satvik abhinay has been treated upon in the 6th and 7th chapters already, because rasa and bhava are to be described. Because the Munis asked about the rasas and bhava. The Munis asked about the rasa and bhava because he spoke about rasa and bhava in Pururanga Vidhi. So therefore they asked about the characteristics and manifestation of rasa in the beginning of 6th chapter. Therefore he has discussed along with the treatment of rasa and bhava, satvik abhinay also there. So therefore satvik abhinay I have dealt with. Okay, then angik abhinay I will start from here. So from 8th chapter onwards, in many other subsequent chapters, angik abhinay continues. So त्रिविधस्त्वांगिको गेय शारीरो मुखजस तथा चेष्टा कृतश्चैव शाखा अंगोपांग संयुतः. Angik abhinay is of 3 types: Sharira, Mukhaj and Cheshta Krita. Sharira done by the whole body, Mukhaj done by the minor limbs within the Mukha. Eyes, eyebrows, Oshtha. When they say Oshtha, it is Adhar, lower lip. Lower lip is generally used for Oshtha abhinay. And Chibuka, these are the, and Nasika also, these are the minor limbs, Upangas. So Upanga abhinay is Mukhaj abhinay, the minor limbs which are there in the face, they are used. And Cheshtakrat, the whole body movements. And Shakha, Ang and Upanga. Shakha is Angika Prachar, employment of different limbs of the body is Shakha. Mainly hasta and fingers, angulis, and anga, 6 major limbs, upangas, as I have described. Eyebrow, eyes, उसमें eyelids are also included, पलक जिसको कहते हैं, and nasika and lower lip and chin. So this involving all these things, Shakha, Ang and Upang, the 3 types of Angika is there. Now he enumerates Shiro, Hasta, Kati, Vaksha, Parshu, Pada, Samanvita. Shiras is Mastak, head, Hasta, hands, Kati, the middle part, Vakshasthal, chest, Parshva, the sides, and Pada, feet. So these are the limbs, angas or major limbs you can say. And they have pratyangas also. Each anga has its pratyangas. When we say hasta, so hasta, the agrahasta as it is called, palm, hatheli hai, manibandh, kohani hai, kurpar, and bahu, the upper part is there. So they may be pratyangas also. So they are involved in the abhinaya. And in Hastabhinaya they are all involved. But basically the abhinaya by anga will be described and pratyangas are included there when anga abhinaya is described. So angabhinaya and upangabhinaya will be discussed in detail in these 2 chapters, 8th and 9th. In 8th it is upangabhinaya, in 9th it is angabhinaya. So these 6 angas, Shiro, Hasta, Kati, Vaksha, Parsha, Pada, they form the Shadanga, 6 angas, and including pratyangas and upangas also, the whole gamut of angik abhinaya is formed. So that is Natya Sangraha for angik abhinaya. So this is repeated again. Tasya Shiro, Hasta, Ura, Parshva, Kati, Padita, Shadangani. These 6 angas are there. And Netra, Bhru, Nasa, Adhar, Kapol, Chibukani, Upangani. These are the upangas. Netra, Bhru, nose, Nasa, Adhar, Kapol and Chibuk. 6 upangas are there. Here the word Adhar is used. Sometimes Osht is also used, but then it would mean the lower lip. Now, asya shakha च नृत्तं च तथांकुर एव च. इसमें मैं ठीक यही ले लूँगा तो आएगा तो. So for this आंगिक अभिनय, शाखा, नृत्य and अंकुर, these three steps are there for performing आंगिक अभिनय. So limbs are there, minor and major limbs are there, and when we perform by the angas and upangas, these three steps are there. Developing the angik abhinaya. So these three vastus are there for the abhinaya. Vastuni abhinayasya prayog vigyani prayogtrivi. So these three vastus, they involve the content also. So what you are having dance. Ankur is basically suchna, you are informing some vastu through ankura. So these are the developing stages also, which may involve contents also, some kind of content. So he is now defining the shakha, ankur and nritta. So angikastu bhavet shakha, the whole body movements of the angas and upangas, that will be shakha abhinaya. Ankura is communicating something through that shakha abhinaya, communicating a meaning. And angahar vinishpannam nrittam tu karnashrayam. Besides this shakha vinaya and ankura vinaya, when you also employ angaharas, which have been discussed in the 4th chapter, 32 types of angaharas, then it becomes a nritta. And karnas are also included in it, because karnas make angaharas, the combination of different karnas, and angaharas make nritta. So Shakha, Nritta and Ankur. These three are the developing stages for Angika Vinaya, which involves Anga Vinaya and Upanga Vinaya. So when for the purpose of teaching, it is how to train the natas. So first you train them in Upanga Vinaya, therefore Upanga Vinaya is taken up first. Okay. Then you train them in Anga Vinaya. So Anga Vinaya is treated after that in 9th chapter. And then they should develop this Anga Vinaya and Upanga Vinaya in Shakha and in Nritta and in Ankur. Then I have given a sort of gist to it, because I may not be taking every Anga and Upanga in detail. So 13 types of Shiras. Okay. Taking back the Shiras, backwards, forwards, sides, all these movements, there are 13 types of Shiras, Shira Karma or Shiras, Prakaras of Shiras, and their application is also given. Various types of Shiras we already imply. स्वीकार करने के लिए यूँ करते हैं, मना करने के लिए यूँ करते हैं, दुख में यूँ भी कर सकते हैं, इत्यादि इत्यादि. So their nomenclatures are there. 36 types of drashtis are there, which involve the sthai drashtis and sanchari drashtis. And tara, aankhon ki putli, the eye people, the actions by eye people, then put, the eyelid, and bhru, eyebrow. So 9 types of actions by these, 9 varieties. And darshan is glance. So drashti is different, and because drashti is based on rasa and sthai bhava. And general, the way you look in different directions. You are looking in sides, you are looking in front, you are looking underneath. So are these darshana prakaras? There are 8 types of darshan prakaras are there, 9 types of actions by eyelid, and 7 types of bhru karmas. So it is tarak karma is 9 types, put karma is also 9 types, and bhru karma is 7 types. Then shatvidha nasika. Okay. Normally nasika, very few actors employ in cinema normally, but in Sanskrit theatre, in Natya Shastra, 6 types of nasika. Yes. in when one starts weeping, that Nasika Abhinaya will be very significant, as the description of Rama in Uttaram Charitam. Ayam te vashpoghas trutitayu mukta manisara ispura dadhara nasa puttataya. So the adhar is quivering, and nasa putas are quivering. So when one starts weeping, all these limbs will have different actions. So these actions are named in Natya Shastra. We will have their nomenclature: Shadvidham, Gandam. Sometimes the word kapol is also used. Otherwise, the word ganda is used for cheeks. So cheek, I think it is this upper part of it. ठीक है, एक्शन इसी से होता है, यूँ करते हैं. और जो सुर्खी आती है, बहुत अच्छा स्वास्थ्य जिनका होता है, वो सुर्खी भी इसी पर आती है. तो इसका उपयोग, और ये सारा सिस्टम जो है वो आप पिकृष्ट मध्य, जिसमें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 200 लोग बैठेंगे, और एक एक आँख की पुतली, भौहों का 36 दृष्टि, 36 तरह की दृष्टियाँ, और कुडियाटम वाले करके दिखाते भी हैं काफ़ी कुछ, लेकिन आपको उसके बहुत नज़दीक पास से देख करके फिर उसके सारे डिकोडिंग, आपको डिकोडिंग आना चाहिए कि ये किस भाव के लिए कौन सी कर रहा है. तो वो लैंग्वेज ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन बन जाती है, उसका आनंद ले सकते हैं. So there were audiences who would understand the whole codifications. So for them it is all sheer joy to see an actor doing all these things. So, but that is for an intimate kind of theater. It is not for a proscenium theater or for a theater which is being performed in open air in big mela like activity. So all these things, very minute things are there. So 6 types of ganda or kapolas, shat karmani atharasya, 6 types of lower lips, chibuk. चिबुक का भी अभिनय नॉर्मली वैसे करते नहीं हैं, उन्हें बहुत उसके लिए प्रैक्टिस काफ़ी करना पड़ती है. अदरवाइज तो टुड्डी अपने आप तो हिलेगी नहीं. ठीक है, अब ये फिक्स पार्ट है उसे, लेकिन वो कहते हैं दांत के एक्शन से फिर इसको थोड़ा सा काइंड ऑफ क्यूरिंग एंड मूविंग इन द साइड्स यू कैन शो. यूँ भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हो सकता है कुछ. 7 टाइप्स आर देयर. आस्यज कर्मा, द होल फेशियल एक्शंस 6 टाइप्स. मुखराग चतुर्था, that mukhraga has been treated there in the Sattvic Abhinayas. So 4 types of mukhragas. So here it is a part of Angik Abhinaya, it is not Aharya Abhinaya. तो फेशियल नहीं है, फेशियल पेंट नहीं है, चेहरे पर रंग अभिनय के द्वारा लाना है. सो दैट इज द आइडिया. ग्रीवा 9 तरह की है. सो आई गिवन ए जिस्ट ऑफ दिस उपांगा अभिनय, all the types. Yes, so these are very beautiful stanzas, not directly related to Natya Shastra, but as we find in Kalidasa and Bhabhuti, these 2 poets have read Natya Shastra thoroughly. They have assimilated. So a person who has studied Natya Shastra would know the terms also, and the how they are hinting upon the various Angik, Vachik or Sattvikas. This also you can recognize. So I just noted these stanzas. You see, this Angabhinay, Sucha and Shakha, and how different bhavas come out of this Angabhinay. This and the term Ragbandha also, Kalidasa has used it. Ultimately, it will result into a kind of Rag Anubhuti. So this also, this is the description of Malvika's Chalit Natya by Parivrajika. Parivrajika happens to be an expert in Natya. So she describes in what way Malvika has done. So it is a kind of sucha, when every limb of you is, every limb of the performer is communicating some content. Okay. So Angai Rantan, it is very beautiful expression. each and every part of her body is antarnihit vachana, is full of language, as if language is coming out. The words are coming out from each and every part of her body. She was not speaking, she was dancing. So each and every anga is antarnihit vachana. Then it becomes sucha. You are communicating through your eyelids, through your eye pupils, through your brows. Some meaning is directly communicated. Because she is doing Chalitak Natya. Chalitak Natya has dual meanings. So Sharmishtha to Yayati and Malvika also to Agnimitra, something like that. So Sucha is there. Then all this Padanyas Lay Tanmayattam Raseshu Shakha Yoni Mridhu Abhinaya, and the chain of bhavas is created. In the second stanza it is sthanak. So I will come to sthanakas. So how Kalidasa knew the concept of sthanaka, the stance. So the performer, as soon as she or he stages entry on the stage, she would stand. So in what way he or she would stand, and even after the performance is over, he or she would stand. That is called sthanak. So sthanak, as we described, as it is described in Natya Shastra, that one hand is on her hip like this and other is like this, and she looks like a Shyama. And other hand is like taken down like this, etc. So sthanakas I will come later. ये तो फिर से क्या करता है, ठीक है, पता नहीं. So now I think I have to cover at least 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 chapters. So I have given a gist of 8th chapter, and these are the names. So maybe Madam will be taking these categories differently. Akampit, Kampit, Dhut, Vidhut, Parivahit, Adhut, Avdhut, Anchit, Nihanchit, Paravrat, Utkshit, Utkshit, these 13 types of Shiras, and their definitions are also given. So and all these 36 types of drashtis, including the 8 including 8 sthais and the remaining व्यभिचारी और संचारी दृष्टिस. ये तो कुछ बदल गया, अब कुछ ठीक है. And Madira drashti, we should learn these things, you see, because many poets use this these nomenclatures. Akekara drashti of Vishnu is described by many poets, and many devis and the gods and goddesses, in their iconography or in their paintings or in their descriptions by the poets, the names of these drashtis are there. So Akekara drashti, Kinchit Tiryak drashti, as it is there, and Madira drashti is there. So it is good if we learn them. It is good to it will be helpful in understanding the traditions of Sanskrit poetry also that way. So then Bhru Karma, Brahman Valan, Patan, Chalan Sampraveshan, Vivartan Samudvrittam. Maybe we will have them in the performance, and their Vinyogas are also there. Then Darshanasya Prakara, the types of seeing are also there. The actions by Putas are also there. So I don't think it possible to go through the details. I will move to the chapter 9th. There also what I could do is just to give you a sort of glimpse of Natya Shastra. Some wherever it was possible, I am taking details. Otherwise, it is a crash course, Natya Shastra in a capsule. So in 7 days, 8 hours every day, we can't do. otherwise. And the best thing is that Mrs. Jacob Balan will be coming, and that is the best way to understand. Now, ninth chapter deals with Anga Abhinaya. And Anga Abhinaya, Angas, 6 Angas, he has already spoken about. Hasta, hand, Uras, chest, Parshva, sides, Jathar, Udar, Kati, Jangha, Uru, Pad, involving all these 6 Angas are there. And I have given a nut in the 9th chapter in nutshell. Okay, so that from that you can have a rough idea. 64 types of hastas are there, but when you count them, they become 67. So the 3 are treated as extra, because the number 64 is significant number. So either the 67 it should not be, but the categorization reached the number 67. So then they say that 3 hands are incorporated in other hands, so it should be 64 actually. So 24 single, 13 joint hands, Sanyut Hasta, Asanyut Hasta and Rat Hastas. These are the hastas. 5 positions of the hastas. Panch Hastasya Prakara. 4 types of actions. Hasta Karanas. They are there. 5 types of Uras. Chest. They are there. 5 types of actions by sides. Parshriyo Karma. And 5 types of middle. Panchadha Katihi. 5 types of Jangha Karma. Jangha is Pindali. Shanks. Okay. And 5 types of Uru. Thighs. Okay. And 5 types of Pada. Okay. So there are unities of 5 in many types. So this is chapter 9th in nutshell. If there is time, I will come to definitions in detail. Definitions I can read and explain, and performance of course will be given.
Sir, can you put this on full screen mode?
Sorry, oh, I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Here,
this
slide. Here, slideshow. No, not here, sir. Just a minute.
I will do it from here.
Okay.
Design. Where is it?
From where will you comfortable?
Slideshow.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, where are we? Yes. So this is a kind of a jhanki of the whole 9th chapter. Then 64 types of hastas. Pataka, this is pataka, okay. And when you see the vinyogas, around 100 types of vinyogas are there. And you can increase the list of vinyogas. Like there were no traffic police in Bharat Muni's times, but the traffic police uses this pataka hasta to stop. He would do this, and this hasta is described, but the vinyoga doesn't include godohan. You use it for milking the cow or buffalo. You do this shuktunda type of hasta. So vinyogas you can increase by your imagination, and hastas also can further be multiplied, because other authors you see in the later tradition they have many more hastas besides these 64. Nandikeshwar in Abhinay Darpan and Hastalakshan Deepika, and particularly Balram Bharatam. It's a 19th century text. He was a great, wonderful person. He was a king who authored King in Kerala. Balram was his name. He is a great thinker on dramaturgy also. The way he defines bhavas and rasas. In Navya style he gives the definitions of rasa and bhava, very profound type of definitions. So, and the categorizations go on multiplying besides these. So pataka is this, and if you bend this anamika, then it becomes tripataka, and if you stretch the angulis, it becomes kartari, mukh, and ardhachandra is. So in the vinyoga of ardhachandra, they do not say that it is used for pushing out a person, but normally we use this. Hindi में हम लोग कहते हैं गर्दनिया देना. So अर्धचंद्र प्रदान है ना निष्कासितः. उस पे जो 4 जामाता आ गए थे उसके घर में, तो कई दिन तक रुके रहे. जो कहानी हम लोगों को सुनाई गई थी, क्लास में बताई गई थी, उसमें फिर पहले दिन उन्होंने उसको घी नहीं दिया तो बड़ा जामाता चला गया कि अब यहाँ कद्र नहीं है। दूसरे दिन उसको भोजन में रोटी वोटी नहीं दी ठीक से, दूसरा भी चला गया। तीसरे को एक टाइम खाना ही नहीं दिया, तीसरा भी चला गया। चौथा वो बेशर्म था, वो कुछ भी करो वो जाता ही नहीं था। तब उन्होंने उसको गर्दन के पीछे यूं हाथ किया, दरवाजे तक बाहर ले गए, चलाए। दिस अर्धचंद्र प्रधान है ना, चतुर्थो निष्कासित है। दिस इज दी moral. This Ardhachandra like this is used. Shuktunda, Aral. Mushti is often used. It has many. And by raising one thumb or one finger, it becomes Shikhar, and by raising another finger, it becomes Kafit. They are very easy to perform that way. The single hands, at least, you can do them by reading out the definitions. And the Sanyutas, by joining these, Sanyutastas become. So the first is Anjali, so everybody do this Anjali. When you do this like this, it becomes Kapota. Both of these are used for prayer and request and all this. So all Vinyogas are there. Some hastas make beautiful structures, and they are also used for beauty. Also for any kind of theater performance, hastas are used. So in Sanskrit, in the performance of Sanskrit drama, continuously you may use these 64 hastas. If you train your actor that way, that he would continuously go on using one of these 64 hastas with each and every samvada. As I do this, so this is not any hasta according to Natya Shastra. But if I practice 64 hastas, then I may be perhaps doing in a more beautiful way. These hastas, I would be communicating as well, but since I am not doing a drama, I am simply speaking to you. So as it comes to me, I do. So everybody does some kind of hasta whenever he is talking or listening or doing anything, but they are structured beautifully through these 64, the gamut of 64. So the Natta hastas are a bit intricate or complicated, so we will, I think, see them in the afternoon. There is a long description of Pataka hasta. Okay. Prasarita samasarva yasyangulyo bhavanti kunchitascha tathangushta. This is Pataka hasta. तो जब चांटा मारने में भी होगा, ठीक है, और किसी को जाने के लिए इशारा करने में होगा, गरु में होगा, इसके मूवमेंट्स कई होंगे। गरु में ऊपर ले जा करके यूँ कर सकते हैं, ललाट पर ले जा कर सकते हैं, वर्षा बताने के लिए यूँ कर सकते हैं, पुष्प वृष्टि दिखाने के लिए यूँ कर सकते हैं। फ्रॉम वेरियस एंगल्स यू कैन डू पताका हस्ता एंड वेरियस विनियोगास एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ दिस। आंधी बताने के लिए भी कर सकते हैं, आदि संख्या बताने के लिए भी इसको कहा जाता है, उपयोग में किया जाता है। 10 से लेकर के 100 सहस्र तक की संख्याएं। उसी से त्रिपताक जानना चाहिए फॉर दोज हु टीच संस्कृत ड्रामा आल्सो, बिकॉज उसमें जनांतिकेन अपवारितकेन ये नाट्य निर्देश आते हैं। तो देयर if you bend the anamika of pataka hasta, then it would become tripataka. So in Janantika, the tripataka is pointed out towards the actor to whom the dialogue is not audible. So the actor would see to the person to whom he or she is addressing, and he will point out this way to the person or character standing on the stage whom he doesn't want, whom it is inaudible. ठीक है, बिकॉज आप फुसफुसा के तो बोल नहीं सकते, ऑडियंस को तो सुनाना ही है। सो दिस इज द डिवाइस विच विल बी यूज्ड, सो ऑडियंस अंडरस्टैंड दैट ये ही इज विस्परिंग समथिंग विच इज नॉट टू बी हर्ड बाय द अनदर कैरेक्टर, इट इज टू बी हर्ड बाय द कैरेक्टर स्टैंडिंग बिसाइड हिम। सो दिस इज द डिवाइस ऑफ हस्ताभिनय यूज्ड एंड वेरियस अदर विनियोगास आर देयर। सो दिस इज त्रिपताक एंड Ardhachandra is also, this is Ardhachandra, and Aral Hasta is also there. In the Tripataka would become Arala, when this Tarjani is taken back and taken back to Madhyama, then it is Kartari Mukh, and that will make Shuktunda also. So in the same way, Bhramar Hasta would be formed like this. So sometimes when Shakuntala is having Bhramar Badha, the actress performing Shakuntala would be doing that. It is not necessary. Spontaneously also she can show Bhramar Badha. But if the audience knows that this is Bhramar Hasta, then they would. You can't show the B. Okay. It is not Sanskrit theatre. कि आप उसमें एक काला लट्टू जैसा धागे से लटका के उसको ऊपर से झुलाएं तो और वो यूं कर रही है कि भौरा आई हैव सीन ए परफॉर्मेंस इट वाज डन इन दैट वे वेरी क्रूड अत्यंत उपहासास्पद मूर्ख लोग थे जिन्होंने जब पाठशाला के लोग करने लग गए संस्कृत थिएटर इनको जानते ही नहीं थे और उन्होंने कहा हम तो रामलीला का वेश पहना और रटा हुआ संवाद बोल दिया तो थिएटर नाटक हो गया तो उन्होंने कहा आप ये तो दिखा क्या सकते हैं तो काले रंग का पत्थर में धागा बांध के ऊपर उसको लटकाया और उसको कोई यूं कर रहा है तो भौरा उसके ऊपर मंडरा रहा है। अच्छा वो शकुंतला को डरने का अभिनय भी नहीं कर सकती है वो तो वो देख रही है उसको वो क्या तमाशा हो रहा है। बट एन एडेप्ट एक्ट्रेस इवन इफ शी डजंट डू भ्रमर हस्ता she does or doesn't do she can show Bhramar Badha without Bhramara. Okay, so the idea in Sanskrit theatre is that the whole body becomes a medium to show the universe. Okay, everything the actor can visualize through his body. No other thing is needed, no external device is actually needed. For inept handling or for novices you may need some external devices. You may need a bow. Okay, dhanush. So dhanush can form an equipment upkaran. So but then you will have to hold it properly through hastavinay and many times the external devices becomes hurdles. Okay, this is what Rabindranath was saying when there was a kind of revival of Indian traditions in the Renaissance period, and there were artists and great authors who were trying to reinterpret the old tradition. So Rabindranath says that any external device is a barrier on stage. Even this curtain is a barrier because they were using curtain profusely. So suppose an actor performing Rama, and Rama holds a bow. So he is given a bow. So he holds a bow always in his hand. Then he should keep his hand like this always. वो धनुष यूँ लिए ही उसको हर जगह चलना पड़ेगा उसको, और फिर उसको कुछ एक्शन करना है और कुछ सीता के प्रति प्रेम निवेदन करना है तो क्या करेगा, उसको धनुष को हर बार उठा के रखेगा, फिर रखेगा वहाँ फिर उठाएगा. So I have seen the performance of Pratima, a beautiful performance, and a Mohammedan actor was doing Rama, very beautiful, and it was done in Sanskrit, throughout Sanskrit medium. It was Jain, they were doing all such things. So he was asked, because Rama is a Dhanurdhar, and one Vanvasa scene is there, Rama is being banished, going. So his hasta would remain like this, always. Throughout the whole performance, he kept his hasta like this. So you could see that he is Rama, and he has bow in his hand. The other hasta movement goes on. Well, if there is any need, he will release. That will not become so unnatural. He can do it, any abhinay with both hasta. Then again he will make his hasta like this. So that is the idealistic way, or you can say, of Sanskrit theatre. So there these hastas play a very major role. So this is Hansa Paksha, where this Kanishtha is taken back, and three fingers are bent a little. Then Sandansha is there, joining of index finger and thumb. Urnanab is like this. इसका विनियोग बहुत ही बारीक भावपूर्ण है. जैसे ऊर्णनाभ कुष्ठ रोगी को दिखाने के लिए भी उन्होंने विनियोग में बताया है कि कुष्ठ उंगलियां अपने आप ऐसी हो जाती हैं. So all these vinyogas applications are there. Okay. So I have these figures and I have their vinyogas also. How much time do we have? Okay. We have to continue up to 3. Okay. So besides these hastas, very detailed Padmakosh hasta is often, and the commentators also sometimes they describe the employment of hastas. So suppose this scene of watering in the first act of Avigyan Shakuntal. So Shakuntala, Anasuya and Priyambada, they are holding pitchers in their hands and they are watering the plants. Okay. So actual pictures are not shown normally when the play properly is done. नहीं तो आप कराने लगेंगे, पानी भरा घड़ा वो लेके आएगी और पानी गिराती रहेंगी, तीनों स्टेज गीला करती रहेंगी, वो नहीं होगा. So Raghav Bhatt and other commentators, how they point out how through Padmakosha hasta you will show the pitcher is there in one hand and then they bend and show that watering is being done. So all these vinyogas make the performance understandable also, and how they communicate. So it is body language. Sharpashirsha is serpent type of hasta. Okay. So I have covered this is Alpallav. Okay. And Brahma hasta I have spoken. It is like this. Okay. But Madam Rajgopalan will be showing them in detail. And Nathastas she will be, I think, showing. So in the same way, 4 types of Udara, Ksham, Khalu, Purna, and it is swollen, पिचका हुआ, समान और उभरा हुआ. इसी तरह से कटी है, कमर, चिन्ना, निवृत्ता, रेचिता, कंपिता, 5 प्रकार की. And 5 actions of thighs are there: Kampan, Valan, Stambhan, Udvartan, Nivartan. These are the Uru curves. So these are the Anga Vinayas. And then I would come to it is 8th and 9th. I would come to 10th. Okay. 10th I think is on Charis. Chari Vidhana. So some of the Chari demonstration of Chari we have seen yesterday. Whenever you do a Karna or Anghara, Chari is employed there. Movement by 1 foot. Okay. So the definition of Chari is there. So Bharat Muni says, एवं पादस्य जंघाया उर्वः कट्यास्तथैव च समान करणे चेष्टासा चारीत्यभिधीयते. 1 foot. If 1 foot is taken into action, jangha is involved, shanks and uru, thigh is involved, and kati, the hip is also involved. So the samana cheshta of these, of the foot, jangha, pindali, uru, thigh and kati, this is chari. Then chari involves the concept of vyayama. So the concepts of yoga and vyayama, physical exercise you can say, but as far as I understand, they are also included with these concepts of chari and mandala. So vidhanopagatascharya vyayachante parasparam. Chari is performed in a systematic way. When they are combined together, and they are done with Angabhinaya, then it becomes Vyayama. So every actor should do Vyayama. This is also Bharat Muni recommends. So these charis become a part of physical exercise also for the actors. So ek pad pracharoya sacharitya visangita. Again the same definition. So movement by one foot is chari. Dipadat kramanam yattu karnam nama tad bhavet. If both the feet are moving, then it is karana, and the combination of karna is khanda. Earlier also these definitions have occurred, and 3 and 4 karnas make a mandala. So in 10th chapter it is charis, and then in 11th it is mandalas. So I can just give a rough theoretical picture only.
Sir, full screen please.
Pardon?
Oh, sorry. Oh, again and again you have to do this
Because they're
slide show.
changing the. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Yes. चारिभी प्रसतम रत्तम चारिभी चेष्टितम तथा चारिभी शस्त्र मोक्षश्च चार्यो युद्धे च कीर्तिताः. This is the vinyoga or applications of charis, how they are utilized. So charis are used in ratta, as we have seen. If you do karna, and from karna combining the karnas, if you do angahara, and angahara becomes an ratta, so chari remains there as the basic movement which initiates karana and then angahara. So all the chestas on theatre would be through these charis, all the karnas and angaharas. Charivi shastra mokshascha. And the release of arms also would be done through these charis, either bhumi charis or akashiki charis, which he will describe. And charis are employed in the duels or war scenes. युद्ध में भी चारी का उपयोग होगा. यदेतत् प्रस्तुतम नाट्यम तच्चारिष्वेव संगीतम नहीं चार्या बिना किंचित नाट्ये अंगम प्रवर्तते. Okay, because charis involve the foot movement, and whatever performance that goes on as natya, it cannot be done without charis. All abhinaya would be done through charis only, because it's a basic movement. पैर चलाना शुरू करेंगे तभी अभिनय बाकी का सब हो पाएगा, इसलिए चारी के बिना अंगाभिनय नहीं होगा, ऐसा वो कहना चाह रहे हैं. यदि तत् प्रस्तुतम नाट्यम तत् चारिष्वेव संगीतम. Whatever natya is there, that is enshrined in charis mostly. नहीं अच्छा, this is, sorry, it is repeated, 6th I have retyped. Okay. Then the names of charis are two types of charis are there: bhumi charis and akashiki charis. So bhumi charis, they are done, the foot movement is mostly on the ground, and akashiki chari, the foot movement is in space. Okay. So the names of 16 bhumi charis are there, and the nomenclatures of 16 akashiki charis are there. Okay, so some of the charis I think we have shown, madam has shown yesterday, and some.
We'll show the list. We'll show the entirety, sir. Today all the charis.
Okay, then norms for charis. Yeah, so this also I think you will take up how the hands should accompany the chari movements. Okay, agragau prasthagau vapi anugau chapi yogata padyostu dijo dvija hastau kartavyo natri yoktibhi. The hand movement should follow the foot movement in charis. Okay, so if foot is going forward, then hand will also, and foot is going backward, then the hand would also go backward. Yatah padas tato hasto yato hastas tatastrikam padasya niriggamam gyatva tathopangani yojet. When you are doing chari, your hand movement would be according to the foot movement, and according to the foot movement, the trika part, the middle part would have movement, and all the upangas also will have movement according to that. Okay. So padcharyam yathapado dharani meva gacchati. In padchari, when the foot moves across the ground. Evam hastascharitvā tu katidesham samāshrayet. In the same way, the hand would move according to the foot, and then again you will place the hand on kati. So all these charis are there. Then sthanakas also. Normally you will be taking up sthanakas. So these 6 sthanakas are there. So they are good for all the performers, and for us it is good to learn them because poets and dramatists describe them. आलीड़ स्थान कवियों ने वर्णन कई जगहों पर किया है. धनुर्धर जो आलीड़ मुद्रा में खड़ा हुआ है, ऐसा वर्णन आपको मिलेगा. प्रत्यालीड़, उसके उत्तर में प्रत्यालीड़ करता है. Because the poets knew Natyashastra, so they are taking up these terms. So Vaishak Sampad, Vaishnav Sampad, Vaishak Mandal, Pratyalid and Alid, these 6 sthanakas are there. Somewhere I have given the figures also, and you should remember the measurement of tala. So tala, the measurement has not been perhaps given in Natya Shastra. In other texts, Nratya Sangrah,
It is
found.
Natya Shastra में भी है.
है क्या? पता नहीं. So far as I learned, it is this much. Is it?
From the
Thumbs joint and the distance between 2 middle fingers.
From Angushta
to middle finger.
Only that's. This would become a tala.
Okay.
If your face can fit into it, this is a tala.
The tala differs for each actor. Okay. Because he will measure his face like this. So if a child is doing, the tala would be shorter for him. If a long person is doing, the tala he can have more distance. He can cover more distance by his feet. So in sthanakas, you have to stand with a kind of distance between 2 feet. Okay. So दो तालो वर्ध तालश्च पादयोर अंतरम भवेत. In Vaishnava sthana, 2.5 ताल का 2.5 tala distance should be between the feet there, and the whole standing posture is described there. You will perhaps better understand. This is Vaishnava sthana. If it is correct, is it correct?
Sir, this is not according to Natya Shastra.
Then it may be some other text. Okay.
We will demonstrate.
Okay. Then I will
Yes.
I will leave it.
All these we will take.
Sampadā is this one. This is also not correct. Maybe. Okay.
You want me to show that now?
When you perform, then
yes, because
okay,
it would be better when
okay.
those who are in that.
So I will. I think yes. So this is also an important concept in Natya Shastra, the Nyayas.
Yeah.
So Nyaya is Bharat, Satvat, Varshagandya and Kaishika. They are adopted in releasing the Shastras. Okay. And Bharate tu Katichchedyam, Padachchedyam tu Satvate. Different limbs are attacked by these different Nyayas. Okay. So these 4 Nyayas are there. Then if you perform these scenes through Nyayas, you show the release of arms. The arms are not actually released. Okay. तो न भेद्यम ना पितुच्छेद्यम न चापि रुद्रस श्रुति ही. उसमें सचमुच में मारपीट का वो नहीं होना चाहिए, भेदन छेदन नहीं होना चाहिए, खून भी नहीं निकलना चाहिए. रंगे प्रहरणे कार्यो न चापि व्यक्त घातनम. सचमुच में प्रहार नहीं करना चाहिए. So the arms are being released, and the actor who is being attacked would perform that he is being attacked. Okay. And he may be dying, but he is not hurt, and he doesn't actually die. तो संज्ञा मात्रेण कर्तव्यम शस्त्राणाम मोक्षणम बुधे. सांकेतिक रूप से ही शस्त्रों का मोक्ष स्किल्ड एक्टर्स को करना चाहिए. नहीं तो सचमुच में धनुष बाण लेकर चलाने लगेंगे तो गड़बड़ हो सकता है. So in there is a play Ghasiram Kotwal by Vijay Tendulkar. So I have seen the performance directed by B.V. Karanth. Jabbar Patel's performance I didn't see. Jabbar Patel was the first one perhaps to do the whole play, and it was a great experiment perhaps. So Karantha was had seen that performance by Jabbar Patel, but it was a good performance. So in the last scene, what happens? That Ghasiram Kotwal is being stoned by public. He is publicly being stoned. So how they do it? That Ghasiram Kotwal, the actor, is standing alone on the stage. So there is no crowd. The crowd is attacking him. They are throwing stones on him. And the wonderful experience, that is, the horror of being stoned, a man being stoned. So if there is an actual crowd, and even if they are actually throwing some pebbles or any वो कपड़े के पत्थर बना करके वैसे भी मारे, तो that effect would not be there the way they did, that the actor did it. So he just shrieks and cries, कुत्तों मारो मुझको, and a stone is thrown, the sound is there, and the way he shudders and he cries. Such a powerful scene depiction. Ultimately he dies. So one after the other, continuously he is being stoned, and the experience of dying through that stoning, how that is created. So that is what Bharata means, that you have these, you adopt these nyayas, and maybe there are no actors who are attacking, only a person suffering through those attacks, he is there, but he can perform. So that is very much in accordance with the Bharata's system, the way they did it. So that way our theatre differs from any realistic type of theatre, and it would differ definitely from the film media. In film media they will be showing stones being hurled, but even that would not have that powerful effect the way one alone actor would create through his angika, satvika, vachik, all combined together. So that is Natya Shastra system. I tried to point it out. And then a very important concept is taken up in the end, which is Soshthav. So it is an aesthetic concept in the whole Angika system of Bharat Muni. So he repeatedly says that Soshthav should be maintained. In 10th 90 he says Shobha Sarvaiva Nityami Sošthavam Samupashrita. All the beauty in Angika Abhinaya or in the whole performance lies in Soshthav. The maintenance of Soshthav should be there. So how Soshthav is maintained? Achanchalam akubjam asannagatra mathapicha natyucham chalapadam cha. Some misreading is there. Soshthavangam prayojayet. I would tell you it. So he is not shaking. जैसे डांसर्स खड़े होते हैं, स्थिर अगर खड़ा होगा, खड़ी होगी या खड़ा होगा स्थानक में, तो कांप नहीं रही हैं उंगलियां या बॉडी का कोई अंग, अचंचल है, अकुब झुका हुआ नहीं है, नॉट बेंट. और असन्नगात का क्या? अच्छा, दिस another part is there. I will see if I.
It is there, sir. Kati karna samayatra.
That is there in the next stanza. It is there. That is a standard definition.
Yes.
But before that is in 91 also is describing.
Achanchalam sabja.
That is coming. But if the commentary is there, then I also need to understand. I am missing either some reading. Achanchalam akubjam cha sannagatram tathaiva cha natyucham chalpadam cha soshtvangam prayojyet. It should be neither too high, neither too much shaking. And sannagatra, sannam svishanti parinatam gatram yasya. Okay. Sanna I was not understanding. So the whole body is in a kind of repose. Vishranti parinat is there. Okay. Achanchal hai, akubj hai, झुका हुआ नहीं है, shaking or quivering नहीं है. There is a kind of repose in standing. बहुत हाई ऐसा नहीं लग रहा है, बहुत ऊंचा माथा झुका रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है. ऐसा सोष्ठवांग होना चाहिए. This is standard definition. It is cited often. कटी कर्ण समायत्र पूर्वपरांश शिरस्तथा समुन्नत मुरश्चैव सौष्ठवम नाम तद्भवेत्। कटी और दोनों कान एक लाइन में होते हैं, कुर पर ये जो है और कंधा और मस्तक ये भी समान उसमें होते हैं, स्ट्रेट होते हैं। तो और उरस जो चेस्ट है वो समुन्नत होती है, तो सौष्ठव एक पोस्चर हुआ करता है। तो नहीं सौष्ठव हीनांगा शोभते नाट्य नृत्यो, नाट्य और नृत्य दोनों में सौष्ठव से रहित यदि उपस्थित हो जाएगा, प्रस्तुत होगा तो शोभा नहीं होगा, शोभित नहीं होगा। सो इट विल नॉट लुक, he or she will not look proper or beautiful if Soshthav is not maintained. Tatra nityam prayatno hi videyo madhyamottamai. The madhyama type of characters and uttama type of characters should always make an effort to maintain Soshtava. The adhama type of characters, उनका तो सौष्ठव है ही नहीं, तो वो अपना चाहे जैसा खड़े हों, आए जाएं, झुके, बुरी तरह से माथा हिलाते रहें, करते रहें, वो हंसी के लिए भी करेंगे। But the Madhyama type of characters and Uttama type of characters should always maintain a Soshtha whenever they stage an entry on the stage. This again I have repeated. Okay. Then Mandal Vidhan is in the 11th chapter. So Charis form mandalas. Okay. So different mandalas are formed by Charis, and the names of mandalas, Bhumiga mandalas are there, and Akashak mandalas are there, and the combination of charis would form these mandalas. So they are used for yuddha, war or battle. Niyuddha is duel, parikrama also circumambulation, and for various acts they will be accompanied by various instruments when mandala is being performed. So this is the end of 11th chapter. I have covered 6 chapters today, from 6 to 11. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, otherwise madam is there because it is her area actually. मैं तो बहुत दुर्बल अंग वाला आदमी हूँ, आंगिक मेरा वैसे ही गया गुजरा है। जब वाचिक आएगा तो मैं थोड़ा बहुत मैं भी कुछ
Sir, Dr. Deshpande wants to contribute something.
Yes.
She says there are some important observations of Bharata on the use and abstaining from using hastas. He
Yes.
names situations when hastas should not be used and makes a significant statement. Yatra vyagrau ubhau hastau vachika bhinayai karyaha viramair artha darshakam.
I think take it up. If I think I had noted it.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, I will take it up. If there is time, I will take it up, or she will take it up.
I think, yeah, I mean, if there are no other questions, then there is definitely half an hour.
Yeah.
We could take it up.
Yes.
Okay.
If there are questions, then
The list you have presented are very impressive. One question is, how could the author have gathered all this information? We frequently try to think of how a text was put together by saying whether there is one author or more than one author. But here, so many hundreds of prayogas in different parts of India must have been seen.
Yes.
And all this, presuming this is 1st century BC or something we are talking about, then
No, I think it's Treta Yuga.
how could this have been done?
It's Treta Yuga, sir.
Sorry? This is really throwing, if we try to answer this question honestly, what kind of social organization must have existed in India? Channels for observation, sources for gathering information. This is, if it is all coming from the author's imagination, that's a different matter.
No,
But
no
it's-
imagination.
No, that's what I'm
It
saying.
is,
but
it is
there's
actual
nothing-
practice.
There is
It is
no,
not
I'm not holding that position. I'm saying there's no indication whatsoever that this is all made up. So it's an impressive demonstration of how things are observed. That is, at one time in Indology, the charge was there's not much in history preserved in India. Indians don't have a sense of history. Actually, through Sanskrit text, we have much more about ordinary life in India than hundreds of traditions put together in the world.
Okay.
So, and that is why it's just a comment. It's not really a question, but if you can turn it into a question and give some information, I'll be happy. How was this possible?
You want to reply to it?
If you have, you are the specialist of the area, so you might. I don't know whether you were asked this question or not.
I was not asked. I didn't have a distinguished scholar like you earlier who could have posed this question. Mostly I was having layman. ये तो पहली बार है कि कुटुंब शास्त्री जी नाट्य शास्त्र के वर्कशॉप में उपस्थित हो रहे हैं, इतने बड़े विद्वान हैं. Otherwise I was having audiences and we were discussing with scholars like Kamlesh Datta ji and others. Premlata Sharma was a great scholar. So I have been in company of such stalwarts also, and we were discussing that. But the way I would respond to your question, and then I would like to hear from you.
Consider it my observation. That is,
I am considering it.
Same reaction I have. Same reaction I have to Kautilya's Arthashastra.
Yes. About Kautilya's Arthashastra, I cannot say much, but so far as Natya Shastra goes, I think there was a tradition of maybe 1,000 or 2,000 years before Natya Shastra was compiled.
Before Bharata.
Before Bharata. At least 2,000 years, maybe it is 3,000 or more. Because we have a specimen of dramatic scripts in Vedic literature. That Suparnadhyaya is there. Another play based on in the tradition of Samveda is there. So they belong to G.C. Tripathi has published Suparnadhyaya, which was earlier published by some foreign scholars. So he says the period of Suparnadhyaya, which is a drama in Vedic language, is 1000 BC at least. Okay. So we have a drama in Vedic language in 1000 BC. Prior to that, there are other dramas also. Then we have existence of dramatic pieces in Shauth Sutras, Brahmachari Punshali Samvada, or in Mahabharat ceremony, and Advaryu Soma Vikrayi Samvada.
These are instructions based on how something should be done or how something is usually done.
In what? In which?
Presentation of a dramatic piece. These are not dramatic pieces.
They are dramatic pieces to me. What is dramatic piece? There are dialogues and they are being performed.
No. I'm not doubting about Suparnadhyaya and other things.
About
Natya Shastra, he said.
no. These are instructions.
Yes.
I am coming to that. Yes. So I am coming to that because there is a performance tradition and plays are being performed maybe since 2000 years before Bharata. So some kind of actions, hastas, postures, they have emerged, and then nomenclatures are being evolved. So there is a Nat Sutra before Bharata, much before Bharata, a few centuries before Bharata, before Panini. So the Nat Sutra must have contained some kind of dramaturgy or some kind of instructions for actors. Nat Sutra is instructions for actors. So we don't have, unfortunately, the text of Nat Sutra now. So what sort of text that was, we don't know. But as far as we can gather, since there is a performance tradition and plays are being performed in Vedic Sanskrit and in Lokik Sanskrit after that, so then a kind of terminology must be evolving, and the nomenclatures for these hastas and shiras and eyes, they must be gradually developing, so that when Natya Shastra came to be compiled, they were pieced together and a kind of whole system was created. This is how we can understand. Some other thing also I forgot to mention what I was.
Saroji's question.
That hasta, we said after the questions.
I will find out. Yeah, those still are very important. Dr. Deshpande is right. Where one should not do Hastavinay and what are the riders for Hastavinay, I will see. That's important because time was short, so I finished it abruptly. So, yes.
सर एक बात आपसे और मेरी जिज्ञासा है कि जैसे नाट्य शास्त्र में अंगाभिनय की तो आवश्यकता है और वो उसका एक बहुत आवश्यक अंग है, परंतु जो हमारे श्रव्य काव्य हैं जब वहाँ पर स्फुरितोत्तराधरः और विकुंचित भ्रूलतम तेर्यगाहिते, इस प्रकार के अनेक प्रयोग प्राप्त होते हैं। तो श्रव्य काव्य में भी इतना उस पर अवधान दिया गया है, इसका क्या कारण है और क्या ये भरत की उपजीव्यता है नाट्य शास्त्र की?
ऐसा है कि जो संस्कृत के यदि कोई विद्यार्थी हैं और आप प्रोफेसर हैं तो उनको ये बात तो समझ लेना चाहिए कि 2-3 जो ग्रंथ हैं जिन्होंने कि पूरे क्लासिकल संस्कृत लिटरेचर पर बहुत जबरदस्त असर डाला, उनमें से कौटिल्य का अर्थशास्त्र है। उसके बिना ना कालिदास का रघुवंश है, ना भारवी का किरातार्जुनीय है, ना माघ का हो ही नहीं सकता। अगर कौटिल्य का अर्थशास्त्र उन्होंने लोगों ने घोंट लिया होता, उन्होंने पचा लिया है। और कहीं कहीं टर्म्स आ जाते हैं, अनायास आ जाते हैं इसकी ये किस तरह का नायक है, ये स्वायत्त सिद्धि है, स्वायत्त सिद्धि अमात्य है कि क्या है, ये टर्म्स क्लासिकल संस्कृत पोएट्री में आ जाते हैं। शॉर्ट गुण्य वगैरह ये सब टर्म्स आ जाते हैं। लेकिन बहुत सारी थ्योरीज कौटिल्य की वो कालिदास, मल्लिनाथ तो बार बार बताते हैं और कौटिल्य को उद्धृत करते हुए कौटिल्य ने यह कहा है, कालिदास ये यहाँ इस तरह का कह रहे हैं। तो अर्थशास्त्र का जबरदस्त एक तरह का स्वीपिंग इफेक्ट जो है वो 18th-19th सेंचुरी तक के महाकवियों पर, नीलकंठ दीक्षित तक आकर के आपको मिलेगा। दूसरा टेक्स्ट वात्स्ययन का कामसूत्र है, उसको तो खैर पढ़ना पढ़ाना होता नहीं है, हालांकि आप लोगों को पढ़ लेना चाहिए। खास तौर से उसका नागरक प्रत्य है, वो तो अद्भुत एस्थेटिक्स का पूरा ग्रंथ है। और गृहिणी पर पूरा एक अध्याय है कि कैसे उसको अपनी सब्जी उगाने के लिए कहाँ वो बगिया लगाए, और खाली बोतलें कैसे बेचे, रद्दी कैसे बेचे, जब वो घर में इकट्ठी हो जाए खाली बोतलें तो उनको बेच दे, वो पैसा भी अपने पास इकट्ठा किए रहे, उसको जरूरत पड़े। इतना कंसर्न वात्स्यायन को, अद्भुत, मतलब एक मात्र शायद वो ऋषि है जो मैं उनको बताता हूँ शमीनाज को कि जो महिलाओं के लिए इतनी चिंता, वो तो एकमात्र वो आदमी है जो ये कह रहा है कि वेश्याएं कैसे बचें इन आदमियों से, जो कितना धोखा ऐसा होता था। तो पूरी जो वेश्याओं की छवि तो ये है कि लूटती हैं। क्षेमेंद्र हो, बड़े बड़े महाकवि, कुट्टनी मत, इतना बड़ा अद्भुत महाकाव्य है। वैसा तो दुनिया के साहित्य में वैसी कविता नहीं है जैसे दामोदर भट्ट ने, और कितने बड़े कवि वो हैं। लेकिन सबका एंगल वही है कि ये माया महाठगिनी हम जानी, ये जो वेदांत की दृष्टि है वो सारा दोष उसी का। लेकिन अकेले वात्स्यायन है जो ये कहते हैं कि वो धोखा देकर के चला जाएगा, उसकी फीस भी नहीं देगा, तो उससे कैसे पहले से रखवा ले, वो कैसे अपने आप को, नहीं तो बहुत सताएगा आदमी उसको। ये सारी बातें उस वैश्विक अधिकार में वात्स्यायन कहते हैं। तो ये जो कामसूत्र है और कौटिल्य का अर्थशास्त्र है, तीसरा टेक्स्ट नाट्यशास्त्र है। और भी टेक्स्ट होंगे तो मैं नहीं जानता, लेकिन 3 के बारे में मैं दावे के साथ कह सकता हूँ कि आप संस्कृत का पूरा नाट्य साहित्य और पूरा महाकाव्य साहित्य और पूरा अमरुक आदि जो मुक्तक कवि है उनको ठीक से नहीं समझ सकते अगर आपने तीनों टेक्स्ट नहीं पढ़े हैं। तो जो प्रोफेसर्स अध्यापक हैं उनको तो ये तीनों अच्छी तरह से समझना चाहिए। और इसलिए आपने ठीक कहा कि चाहे माघ हो, भारवी में तो शायद इतना नहीं है, भारवी बहुत थिएट्रिकल नहीं है, भारवी फिलासफर बहुत बड़े हैं, वो पॉलिटिकल थिंकर बहुत बड़े, अद्भुत, और विजन बहुत बड़ा है भारवी का, जो पूरे देश के लिए जबरदस्त विजन उसमें है। और क्या पंक्तियां हैं उसमें, तो कहना ही क्या। लेकिन माघ में तो बहुत गहरा असर है काम शास्त्र का भी। पूर्व रंग प्रसंगाय नाटकीयस्य वस्तुना भवद गिराम अवसर प्रदानाय वचांसिनः, कृष्ण कहते हैं। तो पूरा नाट्यशास्त्र ही जिसने नहीं ठीक से पढ़ा है वो तो इस तरह की लाइन लिख ही नहीं सकता, वो तो पूरा 5वां अध्याय है। तो नाटक शुरू नहीं हो सकता जब तक कि पूर्व रंग न किया जाए। तो आपके वचन सुनने का अवसर मिले इसलिए मैंने कुछ पूर्व रंग जैसा कर दिया है, नाटकीय वस्तु तो अब आप, ऐसा वो कहते हैं कृष्ण। तो ये तो नाट्यशास्त्र का सिस्टम जो जानता है वही कवि कहलाएगा। तो ये तो इस तरह का तो बहुत सारे जवनिका की मेटाफर आती है बार बार। रंग से स्टेज से संबंधित जो थिएटर के इमेजेस हैं वो संस्कृत कवियों में बहुत ज़्यादा आते हैं, रंगमंच संबंधी इमेजेस। तो भरत मुनि का नाट्यशास्त्र का बहुत गहरा असर जो नाटक नहीं लिख रहे हैं उन पर है, जो नाटक लिख रहे हैं उनका तो कहना ही क्या है। और जो नाटक दूसरी तरह का कर रहे हैं उन पर भी बहुत गहरा असर है। जैसे मैं ये समझता हूँ कि एक टेम्पल थिएटर है, ठीक है, जो भरत मुनि का सिस्टम है वो टेम्पल थिएटर के लिए नहीं है, क्योंकि उसका सिस्टम बदल जाता है। आप ये जो पूरा सिस्टम है ये विकृष्ट मध्य के लिए है, जिसमें कि आपको बहुत बारीकी से सब दिखाए जाएंगे, आँखों के काम, भौहों के काम। जब मेले में नाटक हो रहा है और 1000, 2000, 10,000 की पब्लिक देख रही है तो ये काम नहीं करेगा आपका 36 तरह की स्थायी दृष्टियां, भौहों का काम, वो सब कुछ नहीं। वहाँ तो चिल्ला आके बोलना पड़ेगा कि 10,000 लोग सुन सके। तो हा हा देवी स्फुटति हृदयम ध्वंसते देहबंधा कर चिल्लाएगा जो राम। भभूति तो टेम्पल थिएटर के लिए लिखते हैं, लेकिन नाट्यशास्त्र तो कितना जबरदस्त पड़ा हुआ, क्योंकि जब कविता में उसको वर्णन करते हैं तो दिग्धोम्रतेन च विषेण च पक्षफलाक्षा गाढ़ं निखातयो मे हृदये यान्त्या मुहुर्वलित कंधर माननम तत् आवृत्त वृंद शतपत्र निभम वहंत्या। ये जो इमेजरी है, ये आके करा दृष्टि और ये सारी दृष्टियां हैं, और बहुत सारे वर्णन उनके हैं। जो मालती माधव का तीसरा अंक है उसमें एक टीकाकार है जगतधर, तो उन्होंने कहा है, उनका कहना है कि इसमें 36 दृष्टियां भभूति ने इसके वर्णन में, जो मालती का वर्णन माधव देख के उसको चकित होकर के जो वर्णन, और कितना नाटकीय है और कितना काव्यात्मक है, अद्भुत तो कवि हैं वो। तो उसमें फिर अंत में जगतधर कहते हैं कि भगवान भभूति थे जिन्होंने भरत मुनि की सारी दृष्टियां हमको इसमें, और बहुत बड़ा पंडित टीकाकार है जगतधर जो है, वो स्तुति कुसुमांजलिकार जगतधर से भिन्न है। तो जितने नाटककार हैं उन्होंने भरत मुनि का नाट्यशास्त्र का सिस्टम पूरा अच्छी तरह से समझ रखा है। जो दूसरे तरह के थिएटर के लिए लिख रहे हैं, जैसे कि राजशेखर का बाल रामायण मंदिर के रंगमंच पर हो रहा है, मुरारी का नरराघव पुरी के जगन्नाथपुरी के मंदिर के वो मंदिर का नाम भी देते हैं, जैसे भभूति देते हैं कि कालप्रिय नाथ की यात्रा महोत्सव में। यात्रा महोत्सव में तो बहुत मेला हो रहा है, या देवता की यात्रा निकल रही है, फिर पब्लिक इकट्ठी हो रही है गांव, इसीलिए वहां का प्रस्तावना में भभूति क्या कहते हैं कि सन्निपतितश्च नाना देश दिग दिगंत वास्तव्यो जन समाज। दूर दूर के देशों से, गांव से आए हुए लोग यहाँ इतने सारे इकट्ठे हैं, इसमें भभूति का दिया, भभूति ने कृपा करके जो हमको नाटक दिया उसको हमको करना है, यहाँ सूत्रधार उसमें कहता है। तो यहाँ तक कि वो भरत मुनि के प्रस्थान से अलग होकर के अलग तरह के रंगमंच के लिए अपना नाटक भी फिर उसी तरह से लिखा गया है कि उसमें वाचिक जो होगा वो उसी तरह का होगा कि चिल्ला करके, आप उसको पढ़ते ही लगेगा ये चिल्ला करके राम बोल रहे हैं, क्योंकि वो अगर आत्मगत संवाद भी है, वो पूरा उनका एक हेमलेट की तरह सोलिलोकी है पहले अंक में राम की, अद्यासितम जीवित प्रयोजनम रामस्य, इससे शुरू करते हैं। वो जैसे हेमलेट बोल रहा है वहाँ हेमलेट में, टू बी और नॉट टू बी, उस तरह का सीता के परित्याग के पहले वो, लेकिन वो भी चिल्ला करके ही कही जाएगी क्योंकि वो तो पब्लिक के सामने हो रहा है। तो उसका वाचिक अलग तरह का हो जाएगा, आंगिक भी अलग तरह का हो जाएगा, लेकिन फिर भी वो भरत मुनि का नाट्यशास्त्र अच्छी तरह से उनको उपस्थित है। उसके लिए वैसे विष्णु धर्मोत्तर टेक्स्ट है उन लोगों का, वो मंदिर के रंगमंच का वर्णन भी उसमें आता है, यात्रा का वर्णन भी उसमें आता है विष्णु धर्मोत्तर में, और यात्रा महोत्सव होगा, उसके बाद नाटक 1 सप्ताह तक होंगे, ये भी विष्णु धर्मोत्तर पुराण बताता है। तो नाट्यशास्त्र का तो बहुत गहरा असर, चाहे मुक्तक कवि हों, अमरुक जैसे मुक्तक कवि हों या दूसरे कवि हों, उन पर हमको मिलता है। तो आपने ठीक कहा कि महाकवियों पर नाट्यशास्त्र का प्रभाव है। तो आप महाकाव्य का भी अध्ययन यदि करते हैं तो नाट्यशास्त्र का अध्ययन होना चाहिए। ठीक है।
So there is a question from Mrs. Padmini. Is the term mudra used in Natya Shastra or it is only hasta?
The term mudra is not used in Natya Shastra anywhere. Only hasta is used. It's a later development. अब मुद्रा कहने लग गए, अब तो हर कोई मुद्राएं बताता है, जिन्होंने इस तरह से ना कोई साधना की है ना अभ्यास किया है। कई लोग वहाँ वर्ल्ड कॉन्फ्रेंस में नाट्यशास्त्र पर पेपर पढ़ने आ जाते हैं, वो डांसर हैं बहुत बड़े, वो भी वो मैं हस्त मुद्रा दिखाऊंगी, हस्त मुद्रा वो करके दिखाते हैं। तो उनको ये भी पता नहीं है कि नाट्यशास्त्र में तो मुद्रा शब्द नहीं है। फिर वो तांत्रिक मुद्रा से भी उसको जोड़ जाड़ करके अपना तंत्र भी सब ले आते हैं और फिर तांत्रिक एक्सपीरियंस उसमें हो रहा है वो सब भी करने लगते हैं। वो सब नाट्यशास्त्र में नहीं है, वो मुद्रा शब्द नहीं है।
Sir, do we find any particular dance form before Bharata which he must have seen and उससे ये जो अंगिका अभिनय के जो कुछ है रेफरेंसेस वो आते हैं, कोई डांस फॉर्म होगा उनके?
होगा, लेकिन उसकी नाट्यशास्त्र में तो ऐसा कोई मेंशन नहीं है कि भरत मुनि हैड सीन सम पर्टिकुलर डांस फॉर्म, बट डांस फॉर्म्स वेर देयर। तो एक जो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रेफरेंस है वो छांदोग्य उपनिषद में है, ठीक है। तो श्री कृष्ण जो जाते हैं घोर अंगिरस ऋषि के पास, ठीक है ना, वो चालिक्य विद्या सीखते हैं, वो सामवेद से संबंधित है। उसमें तो संगीत की गांधर्वेद की शब्दावली भी है, वो हिंकार प्रस्ताव उद्गीत वो सब है, और चालिक्य वो सीखते हैं। और श्री कृष्ण बहुत बड़े गांधर्वेद के प्रयोक्ता भी थे। श्री कृष्ण वो देव की पुत्र श्री, ये भी उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि देव की पुत्र श्री कृष्ण जो है घोर अंगिरस ऋषि के पास गया और उसने चालिक्य विद्या सीखी। जहाँ तक मेरा अनुमान है वो चालिक्य जो है वो छलित नृत्य जो मालविका करती है कालिदास में वो है, क्योंकि चालिक्य और छलित दोनों नाम मिलते हैं नाट्यशास्त्र के बाद के ग्रंथों में छलित नृत्य के लिए। छलितक भी है, चालिक्य है, छलित नृत्य है। तो वो शायद एक डांस फॉर्म हो सकता है कि रहा होगा, लेकिन डांस फॉर्म तो बहुत सारे थे ही, और वेदों में तो वर्णन है ही। नृतु कहा गया है इंद्र के लिए, उषा के लिए, नर्तकों में श्रेष्ठ और नर्तकियों में श्रेष्ठ कहा गया है। और वैदिक यज्ञों में नृत्य होते थे, तो नृत्य तो होते थे, लेकिन उनके वर्णन शायद इस तरह के वैदिक साहित्य में मुझे ऐसा नहीं मिला कहीं। महाभारत में मिलने लगते हैं, महाभारत में तो वर्णन, रावण महाभारत में फिर वर्णन मिलते हैं। नाटक अच्छा, जो अभी आपने पूछा कि ये टर्मिनोलॉजी कैसे इवॉल्व हो रही है, तो बहुत सारे टर्म्स महाभारत में हैं नाटक संबंधी, वो मैंने कलेक्ट भी किए हैं।
शास्त्रीय नृत्य का कोई फॉर्म का नाम नहीं मिलता, जैसे फोक के हल्ली सक वगैरह आते होंगे।
भास में मिलता है, अगर भास को मान लें आप, पंचरात्र नाटक भास का, बालचरित नाटक भास का अगर मान लेते हैं कि वो भरत के पहले लिखा गया है, जो कि बहुत डाउटफुल है, तो हल्लीसक आदि नृत्यों का तो उल्लेख उसमें है। कैसे करना है वो भी है, वो ग्वाला जो है चिल्ला के बुलाता है कि आओ आओ हल्लीसक करेंगे हम लोग, वो हल्लीसक करते हैं। तो अगर आप ये, और चूंकि पंचरात्र और बालचरित में आ गया है तो कोई ट्रेडिशन तो है ही, चली आ रही है। अगर वो भरत मुनि के बाद भी ये नाटक लिखे गए हैं, पहले के नहीं हैं, तब भी एक ट्रेडिशन तो चली आ रही है। तो फोक में तो हल्लीसक और तरासक,
जैसे संगीत में मार्गी देशी परंपरा है ना, वैसे नहीं दिखाई देती डांस फॉर्म में।
मार्गी देशी का जो पूरा कॉन्सेप्ट है वो भी तो लेटर डेवलपमेंट है ना, ये तो बाद के आथर्स कहते हैं कि ये मार्गी है और ये देशी है। एक तो इस तरह के कंपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन नाट्यशास्त्र में ही नहीं है और उसके पहले भी नहीं है। तो फॉर्म्स तो रहे हैं, उनको मार्गी कहें या देशी कहें जरूरी नहीं है, डांस है, डांस फॉर्म्स हैं। डांस फॉर्म तो ईसा के 25,000 साल पहले से चले आ रहे हैं, क्योंकि आपको भीमबेटका की गुफाओं में है डांस करते हुए लोग हैं, उसमें शैल चित्रों में है। लेकिन अब साहित्य में वर्णन इस तरह का नहीं मिलता है, थोड़े बहुत रेफरेंसेस मिलते हैं।
Sir, I have two questions. The first one is regarding earlier dance forms. Do you have an opinion on the famous dancer statue found in the Indus Valley civilization?
Indus Valley?
Yes. There's a statue of I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. A lady with a hand on her hip and she has many bangles.
Right.
She's said
I've
to
seen
be a
that,
dancer.
yeah.
Do you have any opinion about this?
It is difficult to say. I couldn't form any opinion about that. It is it remains a kind of mystery, enigma. There are various interpretations, some connected to Vedic civilization, and maybe the development of dance is there. She is a lady dancer, that is clear. Some kind of dance was there in Indus Valley civilization, that is also clear. And maybe there is a linkage between the Vedic tradition which continues in Bharata and this Indus Valley civilization. There is a linkage between the two. You can say that.
And you had also mentioned in chapter 10 there's some references to yoga. Is
Not
yoga
here.
actually mentioned there?
Not in chapter 10.
Not in
I
chapter
said
10.
elsewhere we will come to it.
Okay.
When we come to 21st and 26th chapter, we have some kind of suggestion that yogic activity is there.
So in chapter 10 there's the
No.
sanakas.
So you
But
mentioned
this
about
is,
the Vyayama.
this is not
that's like-
explicitly.
I mentioned about physical exercises, that is Vyayama.
Vyayama. Okay, thank you.
Sir, do you, is it your opinion that I want to know, some dramas in the Prastavana refer to some mandira, leela or some congregation in the temple and all that. So you mean, sir, that particular drama is written, that stage is different for that, or even the other drama can also be only performed on that occasion? See, some, as you rightly mentioned, some dramas like Bal Ramayanam and others, they, in the Prastavana, they mention a Puri Jagannath Yatra or something, like in Narakasura Vijay Yoga.
Right.
There are some references. Is it a fact that it is it is a different kind of stage than Bharata stage? Do you, in all places, shall we have to take it like that? It is a Mandira stage, it's not Bharatanatyam Shastra stage. Is it we should understand, so far I did not understand like that.
Yeah, what I understand is that the stage may have some kind of similarity as Uttam Palams have some kind of similarity with the stage, but there is no theatre building as such. When they are being performed in the temple arena, stage is there.
No, drama could have been written, Prastavana only mentioned, it is.
Yeah,
Sorry, I am unable to put
yeah,
the question
I
rightly.
understand, yes.
Is it only a performance during the yatra, or it is meant for only mandira type of yatra like type of situations?
When there is a yatra festival.
For example, let me put it like that. Abhijnana Shakuntalam,
Yeah.
can't it be shown during Jagannath Ratha Yatra?
Normally it would not be.
Oh, normal, yeah, that's what I want.
That is why in Kudiyattam they don't now take Abhigyan Shakuntala.
Oh.
Kudiyattam is temple theatre.
Achha.
Bhasa they take up.
Oh.
Bhasa has become temple theatre.
Okay.
But Kalidasa won't be performed there. Sometimes only once, exceptionally Shakuntala was once performed. But then they felt that it is not for us. Shakuntala they won't perform. But the difference is, there is a Yatra Mahotsav for each temple. Big temples like Mahakala and Kalapriyanatha, which must have been a big temple for which Bhagavati wrote for the Yatra Mahotsav which Bhagavati wrote his place, and Puri Jagannath temple, and maybe in some temples in south. So if they are having a Yatra Mahotsav, and Vishnu Dharmottara said that after Yatra is taken out and it returns, after that for 7 days Natakas will be performed. So naturally they will need scripts to be performed there. They would invite troops. The troops were invited. Anargara Murari says that Dakshina Agatena Kenachit Natyakarana Tatha Vibhats Raudra Samanvitam Natyam Prasutam Yatha Udvejita Sarve Samajika. Something like that he says. So the troop coming from south, actually this Shaktivada Ashtrya Chudamani is a drama like this, and it was written almost the same time. It was becoming popular also. So some reference to other plays there which was performed a day before, and then the Prastavana he says that play has made them Udvejit. So they are fed up with that kind of Bibhats Raudra performance. Now we present something beautiful. So different kind of troops are being invited. Different dramatists, playwrights are writing their scripts for that. Like Bhabhuti is writing for the Yatra of Kalapriya Nath. So there is a system being evolved for temple theatre. Vishnu Dharmottar Puran describes the system for temple theatre. So it is possible that a playwright composes a play for the Royal Court Theatre, and that may suit the temple theatre also. There cannot be such a clear-cut compartmentalization. A play like Bhagavad Ajyukam can be performed anywhere. Such a wonderful play with such universal appeal and such imagination, the beauty of imagination. So you perform it anywhere. In the street you can perform it, on a small stage you perform it, in a hall, in this hall also you can do Bhagavad Ajyukam, on a big stage you can do it. And on temple theatre they are doing Bhagavad Ajyukam, Mattavilas they are doing, but Bhagavad Ajyukam and Mattavilas you can do in a Prekshagar also, in open air also you can do, on temple theatre you can do. So there are plays which cross these boundaries of different type of theatric systems, but normally it is convenient that we think of the theatre where our play would be performed. Otherwise there is no point in writing a play. Kalidasa knows that his Avigyan Shakuntal will be performed in before the Abhirup Bhuishta Parishad of Vikramaditya. So he keeps that Parishad in mind and creates very beautiful poetry which the Abhirup Bhuishta Parishad would appreciate. And the stage he knows that this much stage of Vikrishna Madhya is for me. So, and Bhabhuti knows that my play is not for that Royal Court Theatre, that Sangeet Shala. So he writes in a different vein. His Vachika is different, and all sorts of shouts and crying effects, invocations are there in his Vachika. So these divisions are also there. Okay.
I think we are out.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you also need some break. So it's tea time,
We finished in Saroj Madam's answer also.
and no, there is something more she wanted to talk about, but maybe I'll show it to him later. And so we break for tea and back at 3:55 sharp. He is this side now, back side.
Ma'am, in the meantime, like yesterday,
Yeah, they will get it. I will get it done. सर सरोज आप चाय लेंगे?
चाय ले लूँगा.
हाँ. अरे अच्छा, ते एखादा प्रिंट हे झालं असेल. ठीक आहे, असू दे. तुमचं नाव आणि डिटेल्स आहेत ना बस.